Good morning, beautiful people. It's good to see you guys on this cloudy day, right? Great day, great day. At least it's not hot. Praise the Lord, it's not hot, man. It's, we've been, I could not take the heat. You know, like when I preach up here, and then when they forget the air conditioning, like you guys don't understand like how hot it gets. I'm sweating and oh man, but yeah. So thank God that the weather is not hot. It's good. Uh, we are, we are. We're. What was that? I was gonna say something before this. Oh yeah. Hey, give our love to all the people in the 100 Mile Challenge. Yeah, give them some love. Yeah, yeah. I think I regret doing it. Honestly, I regret. I don't. Like when we did the 100. You guys didn't know, like we have a 100 Mile Challenge in the EM. Basically, first 100 miles wins, right? And last year when we did it, we had like a bunch of working class guys doing it and girls doing it, and so you start off like only 2 miles or 3 miles a day. This time, I guess all these college kids joined and they have all this free time in the world. Like the first day is like 10 miles. Like one of them's almost done, right? I think it's a 70-day challenge. He's done like in 10 days. So yeah, I ran my first 2 miles and my legs are so chafed I can't even walk correctly. But man, crazy, crazy. But yeah, good stuff. Next challenge. You guys come join us next challenge. All right, I'm just kidding. All right, raw humanity. Raw humanity. We are in the series. This is the last of the series on raw humanity, and it's a series where we're going through the book of Psalms, and we are coming to a place where we're asking the question: How do I speak earnestly to our Father? Right? Can I speak earnestly to Him? And the answer is yes. We see in the Bible men and women who just cry out to God in these Psalms as they just lay out their complaints and the laments, as they cry out in celebration, as they contemplate on who He is. There's this realness, this rawness to the way they express themselves. And the picture of it is that you yourself can express that. That you don't have to come to God in this formatic way, that there's a specific way only you as a Christian is supposed to approach Him. That there's realness in the way that you can approach Him. That you are His son, that you are His daughter, and you have this freedom to speak and to communicate to your Father in a very expressive way. And today's last one is actually really hard. This one was actually the hardest for me to write, right? Because it's one of the things I have the hardest time dealing with. And it's the idea of rest, right? Rest. Now, rest is so difficult for me personally, right? It's just because I think personally I'm a workaholic and like I like to stay up and, it's just this really weird combination of stuff. And so rest is so difficult. And as I was writing this, I kept like arguing with the Bible. It's the weird. I kept like, no, I'm not gonna say that because if I say that, they're gonna know that I don't do that, right? And that's gonna be hard for me to say because I don't really do it. And so I wrestle with God a lot during this message, and I wrestle with Him, and coming down to the conclusion of realizing I think I need rest, right? I think that I need rest is important, and how that plays out in my life. And so I want to share that with you guys. I want to share my journey in this message, and you'll see because whenever I come to God and I wrestle with God, I just ask 1,000 questions. So this message is constantly me asking questions, and then you guys are going to hear the answers to those questions that I asked, okay? But let's start with Psalms. Psalm 84, and that's our last psalm. This is the psalm we just sang, Better is One Day in Your House. And this psalm is really cool because it is the expression of a soul who wants rest. It is the cry of a soul who is yearning for it, who is hungry for it, who is actually who's willing to die to have it. Actually, right? He wants it so deeply that he compares himself to a swallow. He envies a swallow. He envies a bird who gets to rest in the house of God versus him, right? And we're gonna see that because I'm pretty sure a lot of us were like that. Like we want to rest. We know that it's important for our lives. We know that it's good, but we don't actually rest. And so we come to life and we do our thing. And if you're like me, you say stuff like, rest when you die, or sleep is for the weak and stuff like that. And you have that expression in your heart. But I want you to see that in the psalmist he expresses how deeply he wants rest. And I think that's how our heart feels sometimes. How deeply we actually want rest, but we have a hard time of actually expressing it. So let me start here. And then we will we'll move throughout the Bible for this as I grab my picture. I just fell out my Bible. I'm sorry about that. All right, Psalm 84. You have your Bibles turned there, verses 1. This is him. This is him thinking about the day that he can have rest in the house of God. How lovely is your dwelling place, O Lord Almighty. My soul yearns, even faints, for the courts of the Lord. My heart and flesh cry out for the living God. Even the sparrow has found a home, and the swallow a nest for herself, where she may have her young, a place near your altar. O Lord, my King and my God. Blessed are those who dwell in your house, they are ever praising you. Blessed are those whose strength is in you, who have set their hearts on pilgrimage. As they pass through the valley of Baca, they make it a place of springs. The autumn rains also cover it with pools. They go from strength to strength, till each appears before God in Zion. So here it is. He's crying out. He's expressing how awesome it is to be in the house of God, where there's nothing else to do but to praise. Where there's nothing else that you have to worry about, nothing that you have to concern your minds about, no task, no labor, no chore, no duties that you are bound to, that you are in this house and you are sitting there and you realize, this is it. This is good. This is the feeling you get when you finish your final exam and you walk out of the classroom and you're like, there's nothing for me to do but to celebrate. That's that feeling, but multiplied by a million, okay? That's how it is. In verse 8, he says, hear my prayer, O Lord God Almighty. Listen to me, O God of Jacob. Look upon our shield, O God. Look with favor on your anointed one. Because better is one day in your courts than 1,000 elsewhere. I would rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my God than dwell in tents of the wicked. For the Lord God is a sun and a shield. The Lord bestows favor and honor. No good thing does he withhold from those whose walk is blameless. O Lord Almighty, blessed is the man who trusts in you. And so here he is. He is crying out. He is being earnest about his tiredness. And he is expressing how he longs for the day that he can stand in the courts of God. When do you stand in the courts of God? When you die, right? So he's like almost thinking to himself, how great would it be if I would take my last breath to be in this court with you? Because this world and everything around it is just full of so much angst and anxiety and stress. Right? He's probably going to war at this time as he's contemplating these things. He's asking God to be a shield, protection, as he realized, you know what? If I die, then I'm in the house of my God, and that's a good thing, right? So, but there's that core heart of it is this idea of I need rest. I need to have peace. I need to breathe, right? And that's where we're at. And I want to share with you guys today something from God. It's a gift and a promise. That God has given us a gift and he has given us a promise. He's going to give us a gift today. And if you understand it, it will change your whole life. And he gives us a promise for this gift. He didn't just give us this gift, there's a promise behind this gift as well. He gives us a gift, and this gift is simply this, that every cycle of 7 days, I give you 1 day to rest. My gift to you, my church, my people, is that you get 1 day of full rest. A day where you are free from the chores of your life. A day when you are released from the labors and the tasks. A day when you are able to sit and breathe and realize there's nothing to do. I give you 1 day. This is my gift to you. In a cycle of 7 days. This is how important I want this for you. That I am willing to make it one of the 10 commands that's universal and timeless throughout the ages. I so desperately want you to understand that I want you to have this gift, that I will make it a command of 1 out of my 10. A command that is timeless across the ages, universal across all people. My 10. And one of my 10 is the command to rest. It is my gift to you. So we're going to go there. We're going to go there and we're going to kind of break down this gift. What does it look like? What does it entail? What does this gift mean? Right? Go up to Exodus chapter 20. This is where This is where we engage in the first time the Ten Commandments were given, right? Exodus chapter 20, verse 8. Exodus chapter 20, verse 8. And here he is, his 10 commandments, right? And this is the one regarding rest. Exodus 20, verse 8. Okay? And this is the gift to us. And this is what he says. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work. But the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, neither you, nor your son or daughter, nor your manservant or maidservant, nor your animals, nor the alien within your gates. For in the 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea and all that is in them. But he rested on the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. All right, so let's break this down. So usually when you hear the word Sabbath, it's like, it sounds really like crazy and it sounds like really holy. It gets in that realm of like, ooh, that's like a Christian word that I need to like hold on to. But the reality is, what does Sabbath mean? Right? What does the word Sabbath mean? Some of us think it means it's a day of the week, right? If you guys don't know Hebrew, you might think like it's Sabbath, like Sabbath, Saturday, right? It's not, okay? It's not anything of the other week. Sabbath, right, is not a command to worship. Sabbath is not a command that you have to worship this day. It's not, okay? Sabbath simply means cessation, stop, rest. It means that you can have, you can come to this day, any day of the week. It doesn't have to be specifically Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. It can be any day of the week where you will take it and you will rest from your labors. You will rest from anything that you have to do to bring money. You will rest from your papers, your projects. You will rest from your chores. You will rest from having to deal with, if you're in ministry leaders, deal with ministry. It's a day of complete rest. And God says, I give this day to you as a gift. 7 days, 6 days you toil, you work hard, but the seventh day, it's yours. Now this day does not necessarily mean it has to fall on a specific day. It could be any day, as long as it's 1 and 7, right? So for example, would Sunday be my Sabbath? Sunday would not be my Sabbath because I'm working on Sunday, right? I know as much as I look like I enjoy this all the time, right? This is still me having to like come together and do this work, right? It's not my rest day, okay? But all that Sabbath means, all it really simply means is a day where your labor stops, a cessation. And what are we called to do with this day? We're called to remember the Sabbath. Remember it. Don't forget about it. Don't kind of neglect it. Observe it, take it in, keep it, enjoy it, right? Don't forget it. Remember it, he says. I want you to remember this day that you have set apart to rest. I want you to remember the day that I give to you as a gift so that you can be free of your labors. This is an actual gift that I'm giving to you. I want you to remember it and do what? Keep it holy. Now, holy does not necessarily mean worshipful. It does not necessarily mean worshipful. The word holy in the Hebrew just means distinct, unique, set apart, right? It's a day that you don't do what you do on the other days. On the other 6 days, you do what? You work, you toil, you do the things you gotta do. But on this day, keep it holy, keep it distinct, keep it unique, keep it different. If you work those days, that means that this day, what makes it distinct? You don't work, you don't labor, you don't toil, you rest, right? The word holy, and that's how we get in English holiday, like holy day, holy day, holiday, right? It's, whoa, right? Yeah, you know? We obey and we don't work. Okay? It's a rest day. Does that mean that on this day, what are we supposed to do? Just lay in bed all day? Tony, tell me what I'm allowed to do on this rest day, right? Am I just supposed to be like catatonic, binge on Netflix? What am I allowed to do on this rest day? All it means is a day of rest. Just don't do anything that deals with labor. Don't do anything that deals with your responsibility that you have in terms of things that you have to do to move forward. If you are a ministry leader, don't deal with ministry stuff. Don't deal with people. Don't pick up the phone call, right? If you are in school, your projects, lay aside, right? Don't worry about the final class. Don't worry about that test. If you're in work, keep your work at home, right? I know you're thinking, what? Trust me, that's what I said too. What? Right? Are you serious, Lord? Right? It's a rest day. Sleep in. Get up. Take a walk. Go to the beach. Eat some food. Watch a movie. It's your day of rest. Completely one full day for you. 6 days you can toil, God says, but on the seventh, I give this day for you to rest. Now, why does he want this? Now, why does he want for us to have the Sabbath day? Why does Jesus want it? I'm like, because that's why I asked you. I was like, so why? You made 7. Like, why can't I have 3? Why do I have to have like 1? Right? I mean, I don't get it. Like, why do I have to have this rest day for? Right? This is it. Exodus chapter 23. And this is really, a lot of these things are very intuitive. They're very intuitive, but it's hard until you actually keep hearing it and listening to it, right? And I hope it kicks in. Exodus chapter 23, verse 12. Why do we get the rest? Why does he want us to rest? He says this, 6 days, do your work. But on the 7th day, do not work, so that your ox and your donkey may rest, and the slave born in your household and the alien as well may be refreshed. God knows something about the human heart, about the human spirit. He made us, right? And he knows that you need to be refreshed before you do your work again. He knows that there needs to be a new refreshment that comes to your soul before you can actually go off and do your work more effectively next time. Think about this. Those of you guys who push, you work not just 7 days, but you work 8 days, 9 days, 10 days. You don't rest. You just keep working. Every day is work. What happens to you? Okay? Eventually you burn out. But let me go even deeper here, okay? Let me go even like step by step, because as I was writing this, I was like, dang it, right? I was like, I'm not going to say that because they're probably like, oh, he must not be resting right now, right? Check it out. First thing what happens is you become irritable, right? I mean, everything people do bugs you, right? I mean, if my wife breathes too hard when I'm irritable, I'm like, right? It becomes irritable. You become very irritable. You know, everyone does bother you. Doesn't matter. They slam the door too loud, right? They talk too loud. I mean, anything becomes like, annoying, right? And then what happens? You get short-tempered. You get snappish. Hey, stop, right? Hey, what the heck? You know? And you get this attitude that you give to people, you know? And you're like, what's up with that person, you know? You get snappish. Is this you or is it just me? Okay, here you go. And then you start looking around everyone else around you and you're thinking, these guys are all lazy and incompetent, right? You're saying, these guys, they have no idea what they're doing. Like, why are they so dang lazy? They can't get their job done. All I ask is one little thing, can't get it done, right? And then what? Freaking incompetent. So incompetent, right? All of that comes from what? It's a side effect of people who don't rest, right? And then you get resentful and you get this martyr complex. I'm the only one that does it, right? I'm the only one that gets it, right? I'm the one that's sacrificing. You get this martyr complex, and then eventually you burn out. You overload and you burn out. See, God wants us to have this day. He's giving us this day. He is gifting us this day. Because we're like the psalmist who cries out, man, I just want a day of rest, God. And the only day that I can think about is the day I die. Right? Isn't that crazy? That's what Psalm 84 is saying. How lovely is your dwelling place? How do you know how lovely it is? It's only when you die, it's when you see it. Right? And that's all he's thinking about. I just cannot wait to rest. And the only time I can actually rest is when I'm dead. Great. And that's our soul sometimes. I just want to rest. I can't find any day to rest, so I guess I just have to just enjoy and think about how great it is on the day that I die. Right? Because then I can sleep. Then I can actually be refreshed. But God says this, I want to give you a gift. I want to give you a gift. I want you to have this gift so badly, I'm going to make it one of my 10 commandments. A day where you cease from your labor. Because if you do not take this gift, if you avoid this gift, right, you will not be refreshed. And I know you need to be refreshed in order to do your work. There is in Europe, in France, in the 18th, 19th century, during the Les Miserables times, that period, French Revolution area, right? An atheistic element entered into the government of France, right? And they wanted to do away with the Judeo-Christian idea of 7 days of work, 1 day of rest. And so what they did instead was they gave you 10 days of work, one day of rest. 10 days of work for the people, one day of rest. And what happened for the next 12 years was their economy tanked. Their economy just went down the hill, right? It went down so bad that they actually reverted back to, I think we need to rest every 7 days instead of working our people tirelessly for 10 and letting them rest one. You guys following me? Right? There is something about the human soul and the human spirit that God says, I will make it so. I will make it so you will prosper the best when you get 1 day of rest. 1 day of full, good rest out of the 7. That's my gift to you. Will you take it? Okay? And he gives us this, and you're thinking like, okay, well, when do I get this rest day? Is it usually when like I'm not that busy? Like, do I take this rest day? Like, so I'll do the rest day, God, when my season of work seems to be kind of light. You know, I think I can take a day off when it's kind of like, you know, like when's a light season for us? Around fall, right? Right before winter, winterish. I don't know, man. Like every season seems like crazy, right? But when are we supposed to have this light season? I mean, we think to God, maybe I'll take the rest day during the light season. But no, that's not what God says either. This is why it gets me more mad as I read this, right? This is what Exodus chapter 34. This is what he says. Chapter 34, verse 21. And he wants us to take this rest day, 1 out of every 7. You know, is it during easy seasons and just kind of relaxing seasons? Nope, he does not say that. Dang him. He says, verse 21. Exodus 34, verse 21. He says, 6 days you shall labor, work, do your job, do it well. But on the 7th day you shall rest. Even during the plowing season and harvest, you must rest. Now I know a lot of you guys aren't farmers, so you guys don't understand this season. I'm not a farmer, so I had to look the season up. Apparently it is the most busiest season for farmers, right? To harvest and to plow. Right? Because this is the season, if you don't plow, then you miss the day of the rain and it comes down, you miss the ability for your crops to grow. You miss your harvest, right? You don't harvest in time and things happen and the fruit may over-ripen and you will get nothing, right? So it's very important to work tirelessly during the season. But God says what? Even in your busiest season, I want you to rest. I want you to work 6 days. Work hard 6 days. But on that 1 day, sleep in. Wake up. Go to the beach. Watch a movie. Right? Eat some good food. Binge on something. Rest. I want you to rest that day. I don't want you to think about work. I don't want you to think about anything. I want you to rest. Right? So that means this. If you work in a department store, you will rest even during what season? Christmas seasons, right? Holiday seasons, right? If you are CPA, accounting, you would rest even during tax season. And if you're a student, right? And you will rest during final season. There you go. You got it, right? So you guys are like, yes, this sounds great. It's a gift. I'm enjoying this so far, right? But now what happens? You're like, okay, I got a gift from God and I get to rest during finals. I get to rest during all these seasons. But the question comes up. You have a question, right? Because I asked the question. I said what? I said, Lord, I won't get anything done if I rest. I mean, that's great. This is a nice gift. I love it. Appreciate it. Thank you, right? But if I rest, I ain't gonna get nothing done, right? Secondly, honestly, when you told people to rest back then, what did they have? The stuff we do now, did they have deadlines? Did they have to deal with all these? No, right? All they did was farm. God, I mean, what? Honestly, I mean, I know that's bad, right? But like, how crazy can life be back then? It cannot be possibly as hard as it is now. So probably that resting was for them. It's doable for them, but it's not doable for me. Right? That's my objection. It's like, maybe it's doable for them. I don't think it's doable for me. And on top of that, if I rest, I'm not going to get anything done. That was my 2 objections before God. That's my objection and my question. Right? And so the first thing is what? Is it relatable to me now? Am I supposed to rest today? I mean, all the stuff we read is Exodus, right? Back in the day, right? But is it relatable to me today, in the modern day, right? The answer is yes, right? Why? Think about this. He placed it in the 10 Commandments. What's the first commandment? The first commandment is to love your God and worship Him only, right? Is that just only back then? I hope not. It's universal, timeless. You are to love your God in all generation, and all time, and all matters. Second commandment was what? Do not make idols. Do not make for God a carved image. Don't carve my image into anything. Don't make it into a portrait. Don't look at me and think that this is what I look like, because when you do that, when you make my image something that you can see, you are boiling me down into something that you can control and grasp when I am an infinite God. I don't want you to see me as some picture that you can look at. I want you to realize I am an infinite God. Now, does he still not want us to think that he's an infinite God? Of course. So that means what? When he says, rest on the Sabbath and keep it holy, keep it distinct, keep it unique, keep it away from the work that you've done. What does that mean? That means it works today too, right? What else is universal? Honor your father and mother. That's universal. Don't kill. Pretty sure that's universal, right? We're not just going around, right? Don't lie. Don't take your neighbor's wife. I mean, that's just natural, right? Understandable. You don't do that stuff. So that means what? That means that rest is also for today. You guys follow me? That this is for you. If you're thinking this cannot be for me, you don't know the work I do. You don't know the amount of work and studying that I have to go through. I don't know, right? God does, right? But he's telling me. I'm just a messenger here, guys. I'm wrestling with it just as you are. He's telling me that what? This is for you. This is for you. And the objection is what? This is the objection. This is my biggest objection. I can't get anything done if I rest. Let's be honest here, God. Ain't my fault you gave me this church. Ain't my fault you gave me all these people. You gave me all of them. I got 7 days to do it. Okay, that's 24 hours and 7 days. I need 8 days, actually. Why don't you give me that, you know? He says, I want you to rest. 7 days, rest 1 day. Fully rest 1 day. I won't get anything done. Now, does God have an answer for me? Yes, he does. Yes, I hate him, but he does. Leviticus, right here. 25. Leviticus 25. I think Evan set me up when he wrote this series for me, so that this last one will be on me, right? They've been telling me to rest forever, and then, yeah. So now I have to actually deal with God, right? All right, 25. Leviticus 25, verses 1 through 5, okay? This is, the people are in the land of God. They're in the promised land, and he's giving them instruction about what to do with this land, right? And he says 6 years rest, 6 years toil, 1 year rest, okay? The principle, I'm not telling you guys to rest 1 year. The principle is toil 6 years, rest 1, okay? Rest 1 whole year. Yes. All right, 25. The Lord said to Moses on Mount Sinai, speak to the Israelites and say to them, 25 verse 1, I'm sorry. Speak to the Israelites and say to them, when you enter the land I am going to give you, the land itself, not just humans here, God says the land itself must observe a Sabbath to the Lord. For 6 years sow your fields, for 6 years prune your vineyards and gather their crops. So just do the harvest, prune it, gather it, sow it, right? Do the work for those 6 years on that land. But in the 7th year, the land is to have a Sabbath of rest, a Sabbath to the Lord. Do not sow your fields or prune your vineyards. Don't touch this land. Don't harvest, don't sow, don't prune anything, right? Do not reap what grows of itself or harvest the grapes of your untended vines. The land is to have a year of rest. So that means that even if things start growing anyways, you can't touch it. You know, if you leave things for a year, there's still extra, 1 or 2 stalks that grows up. Don't touch it. You're not allowed to do anything. 6 years. On the 7th year, you gotta let it rest. So, let me ask the question. If you are God's people and you're thinking, okay, my life and my livelihood, my food source comes from this land, and he's asking me a whole year, what's the question you ask? What? What? What are you going to ask? What am I going to eat the 7th year, right? If I'm not supposed to touch the land, what am I going to eat the 7th year, right? Okay. This is why the Bible is amazing. Go to verse 21. No, verse 20, because it asked the question even before we asked it, okay? Or God answered it. Chapter 25, verse 20. You may ask, what will we eat in the 7th year if we do not plant or harvest our crops? Okay, and that makes sense, right? The same question we ask is, I can't get anything done if I don't, work the 7th day, right? I won't get anything accomplished if I don't work the 7th day. Verse 21, I will send you such a blessing in the 6th year that the land will yield enough for 3 years. While you plant during the 8th year, you will eat from the old crop. I mean, this is leftovers, right? In the 8th year, you'll be like, Your kid will be like, leftovers again? Well, I guess, we harvested like a bunch of stuff the 6th year. I don't know. So much so, you will eat from the old crop and will continue to eat from it until the harvest of the 9th year. So not only you will have enough left over to get you through 2 more years extra, right? So you're getting an abundance out of this. So what is the promise? Because I told you it's a gift, right? The gift is you get a day off. This is God telling you get a day off. I want you to enjoy this day. And the promise is what? I will do for you in 6 days what you believe you need 7 days to do. The promise is I will do for you in 6 days what you believe you needed 7 days to do. If you would trust me and take the day off. If you would trust me and take the 1 day off, I will show you, I will place my hand upon the 6 days, the 6 actual days you toil, the 6 actual days you're working. I will move mountains. I will move people. I will move situations where in 6 days, I will show you that I am God. Because I will show you in 6 days, you will accomplish all that you need to accomplish when you thought to yourself, I needed 7 days to do. My promise to you is in 6 days, you will get everything done. If you would trust me and rest this 1 day. That sounds good, right? That sounds pretty good. This is hard. This is hard for me, And this is one of the hard things that wrestles me. You know why? Because it brought up a lot of different other things from this, right? Because this is the one thing I as a pastor, I'm thinking, I know it. I get it, right? But it's the one thing I always say, I don't really want to do it, right? Because I don't really trust it. And I had this kind of like epiphany moment, like when I was writing this. And it was this idea of mine, right? I have a thing, right? I have a thing when people say they're going to do something, they don't do it, right? It really bugs me, right? It bugs me. I think it's because I'm not resting, because it gets me irritable, right? But then, as I was thinking about this, I realized something. God is simply asking me too, right? He is asking me to rest. He's not even asking me to do something crazy. He's asking me, take a day off. I want you to take a day off. And I'm saying, no, I can't. I need the 7 day. I need 7 days to get this work done, right? And so here I am thinking, why would I be upset over people when I myself will not listen to a simple thing that God's asking me to do, right? Here, when I say, okay, yeah, I'll rest, but I don't actually do it, there's this hypocrisy, right, and double standard, right, between me and God. Me and God is like, God says, I want you to do this. I'll do it, God. I'll rest, right? But I don't do it. And here I am with people saying, I want you to do this. Yeah, I'll do it, but don't do it. And I get mad. But yeah, I don't think this is allowed, right? You guys follow me? Here we are. We say something, and yet we don't do it ourselves, right? And this is not even a crazy command. This is a gift command. You guys realize that? It's not a command where you're like, hey, I want you to like sell all your belongings and, go live with the poor. That's not one of those commands. It's one of the commands that says, I just want you to rest. Right? Doesn't that sound weird? I want you to rest. No, I don't want to. I want you to take a nap, sleep in. No, I don't want to. Go watch a movie. Nope. Right? Got this project to do. Right? Take a walk. Nope. Right? Gotta, get my clients in. Isn't it so weird? We're so counterintuitive. We're like dumbest people. I think I'm the dumbest person, right? But he's giving me a gift to say, just rest. And I promise you, in 6 days, you'll do all that you need to do that you thought you need 7 days to do. Just rest. Now, how can I trust this? How can I trust that this is like, for sure? How can I trust this? How? Jesus, right? Think about this. Think about this question. Think about this picture, okay? He is asking us to take a physical rest, okay? And he's giving it to us. Do you know how far Jesus went to give us rest? How far he actually went? If he went this far, you can believe that the promise that he made for this is going to happen. Let me tell you how far he went. You know that in your spirit soul, right, you are not at rest. Because why? You are wrestling and you are working every day to please whatever God you're worshiping. What I mean by that is whatever idol that is in your life that you give worth and value to. If your idol is money, you know that every day you are toiling away to make sure that you have that amount, because that will give you your identity, that will give you a sense of completion, that will give you a sense of worth. And if you lose it, you work even harder. You will even break your back in order to have more of it. What are those things doing? They're killing you. They're making you work, right? You're not at rest. You're never at rest. You keep on pushing forward because you want to labor. It's forcing you to labor. If your identity and your worth and your values and your boyfriend and your girlfriend, guess what? If things are good with them, things are great. But things aren't going well, you begin to do what? Work harder, push, die for that. You would do everything. You would give yourself, you would bend over backwards. You would labor. You would work to win that affection. That's what idols do. Every idol in your life, everything that forces you to worship it, everything that forces you to have an identity for it, it demands you die to keep it. It could be your looks, right? It could be your own vanity. Where if you look good, you're happy about it, but if things go bad and you're not working out and things are sagging here and there, you get all upset, and you're like, I have to do something to fix it because I have to look a certain way. And you go about and you force yourself and you toil and you labor and you work so that you can have this front, this identity, this sense of worth, this sense of value that makes yourself feel better. But what is it doing? It's forcing you to work, to labor, to give your life for it. And you're doing it tirelessly, and you don't even realize it. And this is happening in the depth of your soul. This is the battle that's going on in your spirit. And what does Jesus do? Jesus comes in, and he says, I will give you rest. Because out of all these idols that demand you die to keep them, I will be the one thing in your life that will die to keep you. You don't have to die for me. I will die for you. The Bible says we see Jesus seated at the right hand of the Father. You know why he's seated at the right hand of the Father? Because the work is done. You only stand to work when things are to be done. But the Bible says we see Jesus Christ seated at the right hand, meaning the work is accomplished. He gives you rest by giving you a sense of identity and worth and value. Who cares? Who cares about finding love from another person when you know exactly how loved you are by your Father? Who cares about your personal sense of value and money and an identity and whatever privileged place you have when you already are the Son of God? And Jesus Christ died to ensure that. Now, if you would go that far to give you spiritual rest, you can trust that what? I promise you, in 6 days, you will get all the work you need to get done if you trust me and take 1 day off. I can't get it done, PT. If Jesus Christ will go that far for you, I'm pretty sure he can orchestrate a few things that in 6 days, the man made the whole universe by just talking. I'm pretty sure in 6 days, he can get all the work that you thought you needed 7 days to accomplish. You guys follow me? We can trust. We can trust that this promise is true and this promise is good because we have Jesus Christ, the one who labored for us so that we can have true rest. True rest, that we can come to the altar of God. Right? This guy, whoever the psalmist was, he is for sure thinking he's going to enter the rest of God, right? He said, I can't wait, because better is 1 day in your house than 1,000 else, or 1,000 days in tents of the wicked. Better is 1 day in your house. He knows he's going to go there. There's rest and peace for him there. He's looking for that. We are given higher privilege. Not only do we know that rest is waiting for us, but even now, we know there's a rest for us. So here's my thing for you guys, okay? Listen to me, okay? If you're tired, if you feel like overworked, overloaded, you feel like you've gone too far, listen to me, okay? 6 days work. 1 day. The gift to you, rest. Take a day off. Go to the beach. Watch a movie. Eat a good food. Hang out with some friends. Drink some coffee. Do what you do. Just rest. Don't think about work. Don't think about labor. Don't think about your chores, your task, or anything out there. Just rest. And your productivity will increase, right? You will be refreshed for the next day. you will be ready. For those of you guys who are resting 6 days and working 1 day, okay, I have nothing to say to you, right? Really nothing to say, right? Just repent, okay? But for the rest of you guys, right? You're working, you're tired, okay? This is the promise. This is your promise to you. This is God's promise to you. It's God's promise to me, okay? And this is my wrestle. Okay, so I'm on the same boat with you. I'm preaching this, but I haven't really fully lived it yet, right? But I'm preaching it, and I'm almost so sure by it, convicted by it, right? Because I know that this is what is necessary. It's a gift and it's a promise. I give you a day of rest, and you will do in 6 what you need, what you thought you needed 7 days to finish. Okay, that is the promise to you. Okay,